Alright, you guys, week 13 for you guys. Now, basically, hiring your team, figuring out who is who in your team, project leadership, who is your lead and how they're going to lead, picking up your leads, obviously, team motivation. And that's pretty hard, and quality of life. Okay, that's interesting, okay? But it's true, okay? You can lose a lot of those things really quickly in reality, all right? What happened is, let me look at the time, so I do 10 minutes, okay, perfect. Let's look at first, hiring talent for game development. Now, first of all, the thing is that there's a difference between hiring talents for game development if you've already been producing games or if you've never done it. Alright? If you're already producing games, you already have a team. Okay? So hiring is done for me this way. I will hire back the people that have done their work properly, that I get along from the project I worked with, and that I need the skill for this next project. Number one. That's why always communicate properly in your team, always be nice with everyone, always do your job. Pick your fight, basically. And your fight needs to be fight that makes the game and the work better, not BS fight, or you will be seen as a jackass. Alright? If you bother people and, argument with people to make the game progress because you want to make it better, that is different. Alright? You still get yourself in trouble, as David Westman, my buddy David. Okay? He will tell you that he got in so much trouble everywhere he goes. That's not even funny after a while. But it's always in goodwill. Alright? That's why I never take it the wrong way with him when I talk with him, and sometimes we don't always agree. Though most of the time we do agree. Because I have the same way of working that he does. Okay? So that's the first part. Now, still in that same section, you will have people that you will have job position that you don't have people for, obviously. Because in your team, let's say of 15 people on the previous job you did, you're not going to be happy with everyone. You're not going to keep everyone. That's very rare. There was always 10 to 20% of people you get rid of. Okay? Slackers. Now, in very large corporation, if I'm the boss of multiple teams developing games, the lead are telling me that some of them are slackers and not doing the job properly or a pain to deal with, at one point I would pull them out, put them all on a team on a BS project, let them hang themselves. Alright? If they realize it and they pull their weight up and do that project and make it work, then they're back in regular teams. If not, they get fired. Alright? I bring the losers together. I'm not going to say that, but I know that's what happened at a company in town, right here, not long ago. Okay? So the thing they did. Okay? That's how I know they use that technique too. Alright? Now, so I will have some openings. First thing first, I will ask the people that I've kept with me if they know people for those openings. Because an old proverb, an old adage in my country says, who hangs out together is most likely similar. Alright? Because you like to hang out with people like you, that you get along with. So most likely they have a similar work ethic and a similar type of work pipeline. That's very important. Plus, they already get along with a member of your teams. So really quickly, they integrate themselves very quickly. Because if they're friends with you and then you're friends with other people already, when you come, it's like, hey, check out my buddy, man. I've been working for him years with that project and stuff. Pretty cool. He'll be your go-to for that. He can do that very well. Alright? That's what happened to me at ASU yesterday, for example. My buddy said, hey, see that other professor? And it's like, hey, check out, that's Arnaud, man. He does all those visual effects, game and stuff. You do movie and stuff. You gotta need that. He'll be your go-man if you need to. Sure, nice to meet you, man. Alright? So that's how you do it, most likely. If you can't fill every position, then you pass an ad. Alright? You most likely pass an ad in a specialized magazine. Okay, to make sure you fetch the proper people. Okay, in the ad you really want to describe the skill you need. You don't want to lead people in the wrong direction. You want to be fairly strict. Okay, in your ad, so you fetch pretty much what you want. Though You want to be careful in that too. The stricter and more up to point you are, and the more accurate you are in the description, the more you have tendency to maybe miss really good people that do not fit exactly that mold. Alright? There's two ways to hire people, and I'll tell you right there, right now, because I've done it for a while, long time ago. Okay? Actually, I still do it now, but at smaller scale now. You get, and it's a philosophy of the company itself that you work for. They all are looking for someone who is exactly the fit of the company right now, right there. It is the make for that, you know, it's just perfect. It fits exactly what you're looking for. You bring it in, and that's it. Okay, it's fine with me, but again, you might miss people that are very different, that are, I think, at a superior level, higher level than the others, but because they don't, because of their level that is different, they're weirder. Let's keep it this way. They're different. People like me a little bit. All right, that's why I know that. Okay, that's why I understand that. I assess myself fairly well. You know, I'm 40 something. And so I thought about myself quite a bit. And basically, it sucks because those people could be a better fit in reality. Because they might be a little bit more creative, a little bit more outside the box, that's true. But that might be better for what you're looking for in reality, because it's a job that is full of problems. And you might want people that are fairly good at that. Okay, so maybe a little different type of people, all right, not as strict as them all. So that gets me to the other thing. The other way to hire people is to you hire people depending on their quality, on who they are, basically. And you say, okay, it is not, that person doesn't fit the rest of the people, they're not the same, but that person has quality that I'm looking for, and I can train that person to become part of our feet. You know what I'm saying? I can mold them to my feet, teach them how to do business, and that's it. All right? I, for me, think it's better because when you hire someone that already have a system, it will never exactly your system. It is fairly hard to make them change from one system to the other. All right? When you take someone different that doesn't have a very strict system, that is more outside the box, they can adapt themselves very quickly to everything, and they will take exactly your mold. You know what I'm saying? Give you a simple image, and it's totally fun. Nothing to do with game. When I started to teach tennis very, very long time ago, I was a young lad at the Princess Resort in North Scottsdale. In reality, my tennis coach on the tour was the director of tennis over there. And at that time, actually he was the head pro at that time. He became the director of tennis after, but he was the head pro. And he needed an assistant. And he had a choice. Someone that already knew how to teach tennis, someone that never taught tennis. He asked me first. He said, you know what? Would you like to learn to teach tennis? Would you like to teach, you know? And I said, yeah, sure, I'd love it, you know. Extra money, students, you know, it's cool. You know, I love tennis. I used to play on I played on tour and stuff. He was my coach, my best friend. You know, so I said yes. And one day I asked him, and I said, "Why did you choose me and not someone that was you knew everybody in town?" He said, "Because the other they already know how to teach, and they don't teach like me." You know what I'm saying? You never taught in your life. You're smart. You play very well. I'm going to teach you to teach the way I teach. Like that, when I'm not on the court, I know I can be safe because you're going to teach the same way than me. When they're going to ask you a question, you're going to answer what you know from me. It's much better for me. It's a much stronger team. And I would have to agree. And my dad was the top 10 photographer, fashion photographer in the 60s, 70s on this planet. Alright, he's very famous for that. And I asked him about his assistant once also. He told me the same thing. He said, I would never take someone that worked for someone else before. I take someone that knew photo, but that pretty much was very rough. Because he'll work the way I want him to work. Alright, so that's that one part. So now, if you don't know anyone, you need to hire, and you need to go basically to step 3 that I just explained. Alright, and that's very hard. Let me get to that, trying to test and stuff like that, to go a little bit more into details. Let me say what I just did right there. Okay.